For number 6, we're doing a value scale, and I've prepared a color. You don't have to use only the 12 colors we have. You can mix those colors any way you want to create new and unique colors that no one else has. So I've prepared a color by adding some of my blue to some of my violet that I already had diluted for number 5. So now that color is still diluted, and I've also taken a scrap piece of watercolor paper here and just tested it out to make sure, number 1, that I like it, and number 2, that it's diluted enough. So feel free to take a scrap of paper anytime you need to test colors out, especially on your actual project. On here it doesn't make that much difference, but you want to make sure you're using the right color on your actual project. So when we paint the value scale, I told you previously that the white in watercolor is the white of the paper. So we want our value scale to start with white. So we're going to just leave the first section just blank. So I'm going to just paint the whole rest of the section like this. I am painting just, this is just a little thing. You don't have to wet the paper. If you wet the paper, the paint's going to spread into the white area anyway. All right, and you can actually see where the paint kind of separates sometimes into the colors that I initially used. So you can see some blue areas and some more purple areas here. Anyway, I have a lot of hair dryers around the room. You may want to dry things in between, or you can just fan it a little bit. Or even better, paint this and then go on to another section and then come back to this. But what I'm going to do now is what you'll do. Now I've left the first one blank. Now I'm going to leave the second one blank too, and I'm going to put another coat of paint on top of this using the same diluted paint. Okay, so you can see now that the third box is just a little bit darker. This is called glazing also, when you paint multiple layers of transparent paint over an area, just to modify it and make it look like shading. So that's how you do shading in watercolor. This is going to take some time to dry, and I want it to dry before I do the next steps. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But basically, you're going to start by leaving the first one white and then paint your diluted color. When that's dry, you're going to paint, you're going to leave this section alone, and you're going to start painting from here. Then you're going to let that dry. The next time you come back with the same color, you're going to start here, and then the next time here, and then the last time you'll just paint this last box. So you should have a nice little value scale.